I had to get a haircut for Libra. Okay, let's take a look. What are we dealing with? Hi Libra, welcome to your June 2021 monthly forecast. We got Mercury retrograde, we got eclipses to cover, we got Cancer season and some other Cancer transits to cover. So let's dive right into it. So watching this video on June 1, it's already Mercury retrograde, and you have Mercury retrograde in your ninth house. The ninth house typically gets the notion for either philosophy or is associated, I should say, with either philosophy and religion or just belief systems in general. There is also the like voyages aspect to it and like the worldly other cultures, that sort of thing. But I really want to flag for Mercury retrograde and with the June 10th eclipse occurring in the same house, the legal contracts aspect to the ninth house, and that law is typically seen to really fall as a ninth house domain. So if there is anything in regards to working with contracts, reading over a contract, extending a contract to someone else, there's a lot of potency around that. If you're receiving a contract and have to sign one for any reason, whether it's for a purchase or whatever it may be, please go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Please get a friend who, preferably with earth sign placements or just someone who is super like on it, essentially, to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I cannot emphasize and stress this the most. Mercury retrograde is a time in which Mercury, which rules things like thinking, communicating in all forms of language, including the written language, like pen to paper, essentially, there is an emphasis on reevaluating and rethinking and reviewing all Mercury ruled themes. So reviewing a contract, literally line by line, word by word. Like it's really hard to stress the importance of this. So if you're not going to take anything else away from this video, that's why I'm saying it first. With Mercury retrograde and the solar eclipse occurring in your ninth house, it is really, really important you pay attention to those contracts. Other things and other significations to pay attention to in regards to Mercury retrograde, and I'm now including the eclipse since it's occurring in the same house, in the ninth house, would be going back to those original themes that I mentioned. The first of which, religion, philosophy, and belief systems, especially from the traditional lens instead of the modern lens, especially from the traditional lens, falls into the ninth house. It was referred to as the place of the gods. So this could be a time to really reevaluate belief systems or go back and reread if there are texts associated with your belief systems or customs. That could be really important. It's also important to evaluate kind of where your belief systems originated from. Did they originate from home or did they originate from elsewhere? And maybe going on a little bit of an investigative journey during this time to really see if there's additional resources that are tangential or associated with a core aspect of your belief system. You could also be just reviewing, and given that eclipses are severing agents, parting with outdated schools of thought. And I don't say like individual belief systems as much. I mean, obviously, schools of thought translate to our individual belief system, so it would trickle down in that respect. But I really think it's important to think about the grander picture and where those belief systems originate from, and if those schools of thought are still serving you. That's going to be major. In addition to that, at different points in the month, early in the month, you have Venus entering Cancer in your 10th house of career, public recognition, and legacy. Later in the month, it's Cancer season, so the sun moves from the 9th into the 10th for you, and that is especially a good time with the sun and Venus being co-present in the house to just really focus on career and also being publicly recognized. What do you want to be recognized for? And then how is all that ninth house work that I mentioned, which is your belief systems, and possibly even the contract piece related to this? It's a big month for that. Now, Cancer season, of course, will extend into July for most of that month. So there's definitely, this is your time every year, which is a big focus on career. So think about, I would vision board during this time, to be honest with you. The 10th house in the natal chart, it was the zenith of the chart for the sun. It is the brightest spot there. So really vision board what you want to accomplish this year. I think that is super important. In addition to that, Mars and Leo will enter your 11th house, which rules like groups at large, big social circles, also professional circles. It's one off of the 10th, so it falls right after that. And so Mars on a positive aspect is tied to drive, ambition, and assertion. It being in Leo is also a very much shining, see me kind of energy. So is there potential to really step up in the groups that you're in? Is there anything that you need to go to bat for? Is there anything that you need to confront in regards to the existing structure of the groups that you're a part of? Because Mars also rules confrontation and conflict. Of course, Mars in Leo roars a little loudly, but you as Libra, I imagine, are going to be pretty delicate and choice with your words. But I can't read your full chart. So if there's a lot of mitigating factors to that and you tend to pop off, very important to choose your words wisely, especially during Mercury retrograde. More than anything, once again, want to emphasize the potency around contracts and legally binding, just legality in general, things involving laws, because there's a lot of energy around that. And you can work with that for your benefit, but just be aware of it. In addition to that, there's a lot of positive energy with Sun and Venus being in the 10th house. So really try to shine, make that an active choice for this month. And then lastly, shine in your social circles. And if you need to go to bat or confront any aspect of it, this is your time. Wishing you the best of luck this month.